everyone, and welcome to Tiger on the Block, the only podcast that takes collegiate acapella members and makes them really uncomfortable for 30 minutes. I'm Tony like the tiger, Voss like the water.
And I'm Jessica Block. My birthstone is Mr. The Rock Johnson.
Alright, love that journey for you.
Thanks! Have you been on any fun little journeys lately?
Like to the kitchen.
Anywhere else?
And back?
Anywhere else?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I went...
To the bathroom.
I was gonna say surfing. I went surfing.
Oh, neat. Well, you know what I sometimes think about?
No? What do you sometimes think about?
If everybody had an ocean.
Across the USA?
Yeah, because then everybody'd be surfing.
Like California, eh?
Yes, very much like that.
Well, I do believe our guests today are from California, although I'm not sure how much surfing they do. Jess, who do we have in the studio today?
We have the Spartones from San Jose State University.
You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send the boat to remind you.
Founded in 2014, Spartones is an awesome all-gender a cappella group at San Jose State University.
Comprised of music majors and non-music majors alike, the Spartones deliver a unique mix of pop, musical theater, and contemporary classical music to the San Jose area and beyond. They also perform in the ICCAs every single year.
We got two members in the studio today. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, who you are and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Evalina, and I'm from Tracy, California, but I live in San Jose now, and I am a third year.
I am Brian Yu, and I'm from LA, and
Yay!
I actually live in San Jose as well, and I'm also a third year.
Cool. Well, our first question that we ask you guys is the question we ask every single person that has been on this show, and that is, how did you get into music and a cappella? It's so different from person to person, so we just love to hear your stories. So without further ado, whenever you're ready.
So I first got into a cappella my freshman year of college. I decided that I needed some friends, and I actually was friends with Brian first, and he pushed me to audition for Spartones, just so we can get a feel of like the music school and to get into different clubs. And honestly, I didn't think that I was gonna get in, but I got in. And look, I'm co-director now, and I have a lot of fun. Yeah,
That's
It's the best kind of peer pressure.
Yeah, oh my gosh. A cappella is like peer pressure, but it's all positive. Or at least positive for the most part. Yeah. Is that how you got into music, or did you get into music way before, or?
I actually got into music in high school. My freshman year of high school, my mom switched my home economics class to choir, and that's how I got into singing. I was so mad, but I'm so happy that she did, because, you know, moms always know best.
For sure. And you've been singing ever since?
Ever since, yeah.
That's so cool.
Brian?
So for me, I started music since I was 5. It started off with piano lessons. Then after that, like in the 3rd grade, when I was probably around 8, I had a little singing class that I signed up for, you know, just community-wise. You know, my mom paid for my lessons and all that. And yeah, it got fun. And after that, in the 4th grade, I found out that my elementary school had a choir program. So I joined. And at first, I just wanted to, like, get out of the class, you know, get out of class just to, you know, join choir. But then the more I got into it, I just started vibing and just singing. And it was just starting to feel like something was just happening to me, like, so magically. So, like, from middle school to high school, I just constantly kept singing, and like one day I wanted to be a K-pop star at one point. I thought I was just cool and like dancing and all that and singing, but then, you know, obviously, like I felt like it wasn't my thing, and so I wanted to be a leader, more of a leader. So that's why I chose choir conducting as my major, well, music ed to be more specific. And also, though, how I got into acapella. So my freshman year, a lot of my friends I heard joined a community acapella group that that was like around my city. And fun fact, member Montana James from Pitch Please was in it as well.
Ooh, shout out Montana.
Yeah, I joined after her. So I found out about that through friends, and then afterwards I joined my sophomore year, and I was in it for like 6 months, and obviously the group disbanded because the directors had to move to a different state. But overall, I had an amazing experience with that, and I wanted to bring that experience to SJSU, and I'm glad I have the chance to now as a co-director.
That's so cool. It's so interesting that you guys are both like on that music track. I don't know if Evalina mentioned at all, but she is a voice major, specifically opera, which is so cool. So we've got a music education major and an opera major here doing acapella. So this is just like the most music-filled room.
We love it. We love to see it. I think, like you said, Brian, you said you played piano, and I think that's such a good instrument to kind of like get the basis of music on, because it's like the notes are all like, it's a huge instrument with all the notes in front of you, but it's like you are kind of put in this weird position where you have to learn both the bass clef and the treble clef, which is extremely useful as a guy singing in acapella and just singing in general, because sometimes you got to make that flip. The next thing we got going on is we would like to talk a little bit about what the acapella scene is like at SJSU. You know, they kind of differ from place to place. Some groups have like a very like concrete way of doing things. Other groups have like huge amounts of people in it. Others have more concise groups, but very tight knit. So if you guys can just touch on what the acapella scene is like, how kind of like the group structures work and how they interact.
So yeah, at SG's, with the Spartones, I think, yeah, we're just a group of people who love to, like, we come from different backgrounds. Like, if we have like very conflicting like personalities, even like the very like ones that just don't work out, they tend to work out, which is so weird. Even if we have like different political views, religious views, and we just hate on it, we still find a way to work it out. So like, we're just a very, you know, welcoming and understanding group of people. And one of the best things I love about this group is we're very big on vocalizing. I think vocalizing is one of the most important things when it comes to singing, because without vocalizing, you know, it's important to get better at, you know, keeping a pitch and understanding tone. So every day we like to just get our bodies warmed up, and afterwards we work on our high range, and after that our low range for the basses. And also the way our group is like formed, we love having more bass. So we're usually forming an 18-member group every year. So we like to have 5 basses and like 4 tenors, and maybe like another 5 altos, and then 4 sopranos in that kind of format. And just to have it even. And
I was going to say, that's an interesting spread.
I feel like that's more of a choral spread, in that a lot of a cappella groups will have like one bass.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of like tenors and maybe some baritones. But it's cool that you guys have like a bass section, because having been in a choir, like, that's a really nice, really warm sound that you can get when you have that many basses. And that many altos too. Like, I like that you guys are kind of purposefully skewing it so that your sound is like warm, which is such a nice sound when a singing group has that warmth to it.
The reason why we actually have more bass is because we don't necessarily have like a lot of technology like with the microphones at school. So we need to find a way to actually find a great blend without mic, which is why we get a lot of bass for sure.
That makes so much sense. If you don't have a mic for the bass, then you have to have more basses for sure. That's so cool. I was gonna ask, because I'm just curious, are there other groups at SJSU, or is it just you guys?
Yeah, there's other groups at SJSU. There's actually 2. The Spartan Stellas, they're an all-female a cappella group. And there's another group called Pitch Please. And there's a tenor bass a cappella group.
There are so many pitch pleases. We realized that like a little too late, but we still love our name. Right. That's so cool. Is Spartan Stellas supposed to be like Bard and Bellas from Pitch?
Yeah, I think so. We don't really like talk very much, but I think so. I'm pretty sure.
That's so cool. I love that it's like a pitch perfect theme group. It's just like we've entered a new era.
It came full circle, you know. Acapella inspired the documentary, which inspired the movie, which is now inspired Acapella.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It's a circle of life. Shout out to Lion King. If you're listening, Lion King.
Lion King, we love you. Oh my god.
Oh man, Simba, if you're listening.
Anyway, I guess I just wanted to ask this because I know you guys have some music majors in your group. Do you guys have a relation to the music school at all? Or is it mostly like you're separate from the music school, but you just have people who are in your group and the music school?
I think we have more people from the music school in the group than we are affiliated with like the music school itself. Our advisor is our director for our choir, but
Neat.
It's just so we can get like a room in the music building.
For sure. That's so hard to do. If you don't have a music student or like a connection to the music school, they're always just like, do you have a connection? And you're like, no. And they're like, well, then you can't have a room. And it's like, no, we just want to rehearse.
Right.
Yeah.
We're usually just in the piano lab, just chilling out and singing.
Pitch Please loves to hang out. What's the one building complex where we hang out by the elevators? I know we had Denev. We have
Gardenia
like
and Holly.
That's it. There's like a tiny alcove that will be there if like our people who are rushing to get like the reservations in like the different areas.
That's
if we don't
me.
get the ones. Yes.
If I don't get the rooms on time, like, or if I click at the exact moment and it's already full, because like it's like getting concert tickets. That's how hard it is to get rooms at UCLA. I'll like try to get a room, and if I can't, then we find a basement in a dorm. And we rehearse right by the elevator, and it's funny because people will like pop out of the elevator and we'll just be like belting our heads off, and they're just like, ah. But it's also kind of fun to shock people.
Yeah, it's great. Just everybody just like slow turn, like suspending
The
like
whole
a
group
note.
just stares at them people. It's pretty fun. If you have never, I'm sure you guys have done this, if you're ever in a singing group in public singing, it's fun to get those stares and then just be like, yeah, that's right.
We do
Oh
this.
yeah, we definitely have done that. We sing in this place called the Student Union. That's where like everyone goes to like do their homework or study, and then all of a sudden we're just screaming, and we definitely get some stares.
Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you gotta go to the student union. You gotta scream a cappella with people.
You gotta change it up. It can't always just be sit down and study. Sometimes you gotta have a little bit of surprise performance.
Yeah.
Right. Gotta get our names out there somehow.
Right.
Yeah. Gotta get the street cred.
Speaking of, I guess, performances, what do you guys usually sing? I know that a lot of groups do a mix of many different genres. I assume you guys do the same. What do you generally sing? How do you choose those songs? Yeah, like what's that whole
Excellent
process
segue,
like?
Jess.
Thank you. I practiced.
We love one of the kinds of music, like kind of the styles we love is definitely ballads. Ballads bring our unity like the best for sure. We did an arrangement of Hymn of Axiom by you know the artist writer Vienna Tang, something like that, right? It starts off with just sopranos, altos, and tenors just having their cool warm bright tone, just to soothe a bit. Then once you add the bass, it adds this whole different effect. Then once like you get towards like the middle of the song, then the bass just really develops at the low register, while all the other parts are doing their bright registers. And honestly, it's so cool. It has that relieving effect. So yeah, ballads are definitely for us like probably one of our best styles.
It's so fun when there's like a chord with like everyone but the bass, and then the bass suddenly comes in and it's like the floor has returned. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Ballads, they hit different, I feel like
They do.
It's definitely when the group is into it and the emotion is there, it's the easiest to click in. I've known just from my experience in the songs that we do, the songs that kind of have that slow ballad-esque, that they have that emotional pull and that like that weight, for whatever reason, everybody is able like in the moment to feel and really express the emotions behind the music as well, which it just always becomes a beautiful performance, a beautiful array.
In conclusion, Yay, ballads.
Yay, ballads.
Woo! Anyway, that is awesome. So do you guys generally do like a certain genre of ballad, like pop ballads, or do you do like classical ballads? There's so many.
I think mainly we do like pop ballads. So you'll hear us doing like Rihanna or Ariana Grande or Jason Derulo or something.
Jason Derulo.
Exactly.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, pop ballads, man. Great genre. Love it.
By the way, I just arranged my own Jason Derulo ballad, so
Yeah.
hopefully you guys check it out. If you guys want to check it out, just text me or email me.
For sure. That's so cool.
Man, Jason Derulo, I've heard from the kids these days that he's been quote unquote popping off on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Or at
His
least
TikToks
making
are
videos.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard he's done a lot of things.
He's crazy. Definitely. His TikToks have got me scratching my head sometimes.
I just have this like distinct image in my head of the one of him on the stairs where he like pretends that his head is sliding separate from his body.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah, where it's like, and then it's, yeah.
The
This is
one
great
that
radio,
I
by the
question
way.
is the little burrito.
I haven't seen that one.
He makes
Well-
like a burrito with like cotton candy.
Oh, Jason Derulo, why? Jason Derulo, if you're listening, why?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. As soon as we got on the topic of Jason Derulo, I couldn't stop thinking about the Cats remake.
Oh no, Tony.
And just
No.
beautiful, immaculate. The vibes.
Oh man,
Ah!
Tony.
Oh man.
That's chaotic vibes.
I feel like the
Absolutely.
Cats, like bringing up the Cats movie is the new I just lost the game. Like it used to be that someone said I just lost the game and then everyone loses the game because they think of the game. But now like the minute someone says, oh, cat movie, everyone's like cats, because and then everyone like has lost the game and that they're now all thinking about the Cats movie, which I think is a loss in general. I think I over-explained that one, but I just wanted to show you guys my thought process there. Anyway.
Speaking of acapella,
Speaking of acapella.
which is a segue we can use anywhere and everywhere, anytime we feel like it. Speaking of acapella, do you guys do any socials or bonding stuff with your group to kind of like just like hang out? And how do you feel that those like hangouts and stuff that you guys do and those traditions that you guys establish and continue to do over the years, how do you feel like those things add to your overall sound and your blending and your like emotional synergy?
Synergy.
So last year we just started doing a retreat. Retreat brings the laughter, joyness, and emotions at the best of us, and it helps us get to know each other, and the more and because our members have great experiences in this retreat. They spread it to other friends, you know, and afterwards, the word gets around and it makes more people want to join Spartones. And also, we also like to do a little thing at BJ's every year. We have a BJ's nearby San Jose State, just like a few minutes by drive, and we love to just reserve a table, hang out, we talk, same thing, joke, laughter, everything, and just talk about what kind of music we want to do in the future. And yeah, and again, these experiences they spread around SJSU, and again, more people ask us, how do we join? And yeah, that's what just keeps us going. And also a big thing we love acapella parties, where we all collide with different schools, going to acapella parties. That is one of the best ways for us to just bond with not just our members, but with other acapella groups, and networking becomes big. And I think the more networking we do in the acapella community, the more people want to join our style, for sure. And I feel like acapella should be the next generation of music.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
For sure. That's so cool. Where do you guys go on retreat generally if you go out of town?
The retreat is usually on campus. We reserve something called the Spartan Chapel. And it's just
Cool.
smack middle of the university. And we just sit there and we sing together, do some activities, and play tag.
That's so cool. Playing tag in a chapel.
Love it.
That's
Incredible.
like peak acapella energy right there. Like,
It really is.
Yeah, if you had to
probably
take away,
while singing.
I was gonna say, even
Yeah.
if you had to take away all sound, it's like that. If you had to take away all sound and explain acapella to somebody, it would be that. You'd be like, that's the vibe.
Mhm.
It really is just singing and running around playing tag with your best friends. That's like peak entertainment.
Exactly. That's so
Also,
cool.
we actually have a video on our YouTube channel, the Spartones with us at our retreat, and I don't know, there's a lot of funny moments in there, so you guys want to check that out as well.
I will link that below so that if you guys are interested, you can check it out.
So we've heard about your social life. We've heard about how you choose songs and which kind of songs you choose. We've heard about the acapella scene at SJSU. But the question of the hour, how was your guys' acapella experience at the ICCAs this year, 2020? How'd you feel about it? How'd it go? What was your preparation like? All of that. Just the journey to ICCAs 2020.
Yeah, I think I can answer this one. For me, it was amazing. The weeks going up to ICCAs, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's like a hill or something, but it's more of like a incline until
A sprint.
ICCA. Yes, and like it's like I think it's like the last 2 weeks before the actual competition where everyone like every day is like, oh my god, are you ready? Do you know your parts? Yeah. And just like the overall vibes that everyone gives off, it's like, I don't know, like everyone's just hopped up on 5-hour energy, like every 2 seconds. And everyone's all like lovey-dovey, and we're getting to bond, and just to have that experience explode on stage like that, I think that's the most blissful moment that we can have together as a group. And that definitely like will last a lifetime with most of these people in the group, because that's something that you can't get like in the real world.
For sure.
For me, this set had a lot of meaning for me, especially because of the theme of the set. So the theme of the set was to spread word about shootings, and we should all find ways to prevent them. And actually, back in my hometown, also where Montana's from, there was a school shooting back in 2019 at a high school, and this set helped me really spread the word, and that event also inspired me as well. And so for me, this set was just really powerful, and honestly, I was focusing on making this my most like powerful and hard performance. Just like putting all my energy out there. Because even the dance was like there's a lot of stomping, a lot of like pops, and like a lot of joint movement for sure, and a lot of marching and all that. And they just all have to be powerful. And for me, like I just wanted to make sure like everyone was just like getting powerful, because like this set like I could relate a lot, Yeah, like not gonna lie, and not at the like towards the beginning, or like actually towards the end of the set, actually after the set, we all got together, we started crying, just like sharing our memories. It got us like to be more professional and more mature, and we just wanted to make sure we're spreading the community as positive as possible.
Yeah, art throughout like in any form has always been a powerful conduit for healing and for spreading awareness and changing the way that we think about things. And it's so great that you are using your platform in order to not only come to terms with things for yourself and for other people in the group, but to also share a message out to the audience and to people who are listening. You're taking like the message that you feel that the world needs to hear, and you are putting it out through song and through dance and through music. And it's always any time to do that. It's very difficult, and it's quite the accomplishment.
It's also cool that you guys turned like collective jitters into a collective experience, into like a collective emotional experience. Like to go from like, hey, are you ready for the performance? Like, are you ready for the performance? To like performing on stage all together and then just reflecting on it together afterward. It's like such a journey for a group of people to take. And I know from personal experience, like taking that journey with those people, like you're so much closer afterwards. You feel like you've done something together, you know?
It was amazing, but it was really exhausting, like emotionally, just because like our topic really took a toll on us. Just because that year that we did it, there was so many mass shootings happening and school shootings, and it definitely like hit home because we're like the Garlic Festival is, and some of our members were there when it happened, and it definitely like in the beginning of our performances we did get some laughs because it's like it's a hard topic to talk about, and definitely like at the performance too, it was silent for a good minute until like the very end, and I think that it really hit people, and it was a good atmosphere afterwards.
That's good. Yeah, sometimes it's like you don't get like that screaming, cheering reaction, and it's not because it's a negative thing. It's because people are kind of just absorbing information and just thinking about what you're putting forth. And if the music you're putting forth is making people think about exactly what you want them to think about, then I guess you've succeeded in what you were trying to do, right? Like if you can connect emotionally with these people, then you've done it. You've musicked, so to speak. You've made something that people can connect with.
And it's not always just ballads. It's everything. It's everything you want to put out there. Anything that you feel the need to educate people on. And that was definitely our goal.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys achieved that too. So that's props to you guys for tackling like a serious subject with your ICCA set and pulling it off. Like a lot of people are like, let's do one about
insert something.
I don't know. Our theme was space. So that's a great example of one that doesn't really have that much of an emotional connection to very many people. But yeah, it's so cool that you guys chose a topic that's like very meaningful. I think that makes it, I don't know, it just makes it a more interesting thing to watch because it's got meaning as well as emotion. I guess that brings us to what happened after ICCA 2020, which is quarantine. Has your group done anything fun or like hung out or recorded any covers or any of that during quarantine? Or
yeah, and just in general, if like outside of like things that you would do like at like acapella stuff that you would do like on a daily or on a weekly if you guys were on campus, how have you kept in contact with members of the group and still being able to communicate socially while Miss Rona is in town?
I think one thing that we've done really well is to keep contact with each other with Snapchat. We have like a group chat and we're always texting each other and sending us videos and the memories of ICCA and like different rehearsals and stuff. Right now we haven't put anything out just because we're not very technologically advanced. But we're trying. We're trying to put something out there, and Brian said that he's writing some stuff. I'm trying to write some stuff just so we can get it out there. And we've been connecting through Zoom, and we'll play like the Jackbox TV, if you know what that is.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
So fun.
Yeah, we definitely have to do it again, like on a weekend, but those are super fun, just so we get to connect with everyone still and have that family orientation that we want to keep.
That's awesome. Quiplash is my spirit animal. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Mine too. I love it.
It's so good. And
yeah, the whole technical aspects, everybody has been trying to like circumvent and figure out, okay, well we could FaceTime or Zoom, but that's got lag, and it's definitely a learning curve for a lot of people, but it's interesting. It presents some new challenges, but I feel like in some ways could present some very interesting opportunities for the next coming year.
Also, another thing we did too was also we celebrated my birthday, May 11th, 2000, turned 20.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, so yeah, that was another thing we had. We had a final end of the year video which consists of our ICCA highlights and also we have the retreat video, which is also part of our highlights as well. So we put those out on YouTube, and we all watched it as a group at the end, and we even invited our alumni on Zoom, and we all watched it together. And just it reminded us like why we love this group so much. And then over summer, Eva and I, we were constantly planning every week just to make sure we have everything we want to do this summer, and we know how to get it. And so like we said, we're arranging stuff, and we're trying to get 2 virtual projects out there, and we're trying to get a Christmas one out there as well. So yeah, and we want to launch it on Christmas. So that's what we want to do. And also, we have a new board. So like members and all that. So we kept in like close contact with them as well, just to see how they're doing, and just to make sure they stay confident in their roles. And also, we also kept in contact in our returning members just to see how they're doing, and just reminding them that we're there for them, and just making sure that there's things coming up, so just be ready.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. It's so good to hear that like acapella groups are sort of taking control of the situation and doing their own thing with it. And so I'm really glad that you guys have like met up a couple times and are just planning like what you're going to do this year. Because honestly, that's all we can do at this point. And as long as we're doing it and we're doing our best, that's what we can ask of 2020, pretty much.
Speaking of acapella, see, I told you it was going to come back. We just thought it would be kind of cute, kind of sweet, kind of fun, kind of sentimental, kind of quirky, if you guys would share with us your favorite acapella moment. This can be social, can be musical, can be from this year, could be from 2-3 years back, however many years. But this is just the moment. This is just share one of your treasured moments about being a part of acapella and being a part of Spartones.
Want to go over?
It takes a while to think of which one you want to do.
Sure, I'll go. Definitely, the ICCA experience was definitely my favorite. Not only because of the topic, but how I got to see everyone grow and how I got to see myself grow, not only as like a member, but someone who was like cherished in the group and someone who could be like relied on. Because, things happen, and this is a very, very touchy subject for some people. So like I definitely got to see a different side of people and how they took it seriously. And even afterwards, like the whole buzzing of our energy like was still through the roof, even when we came back like months later and through Zoom calls, and they're so excited to be a part of the group. That's definitely something that I'm going to cherish.
That's awesome. Just the whole acapella vibe is just something to love on anytime. Yeah. That's awesome.
I think for me, it has to be, for just in general, all the acapella performances where we were invited by other groups. We were invited by UC Berkeley in 2019 fall. We were invited by Santa Cruz. I think we were also invited by. Were we invited by Davis? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Were we invited by Davis? Yeah, I think we couldn't go to that one just because it was. Well, yeah, we were invited by Davis, but all those places like we went to, we obviously partied, but the parties really got us close. I feel like those parties just bring the best in our personalities. Like we're just like, oh my gosh, like finals and all that. Like we're not too worried. Like let's just bond. Like and let's play loud music, dance, meet other people and like different acapella groups. Like it was just amazing. Like all the stress just relieved, and also like our members bonded well together. And yeah,
that's so cool. It's so fun to meet people from other acapella groups because you realize that like there is a kind of person who does this, and it's easy to get along with most of them because everyone's just so, I don't know, like outgoing and also like musically talented, and that combination, like when hanging out, is just amazing.
Yeah, and that's part of what has been so fun for me and Jessica running this podcast, is that we get to talk to so many different people who we wouldn't have had in our general circle at UCLA. Like there's plenty of groups at UCLA, but we've also got to speak to Canadian groups, Pennsylvanian groups, and it's incredible because we all are united in our shared love for acapella.
Beautifully said.
And yeah, it's great that you guys got to do those collaborations. Those are always super fun to do with another group. Speaking of collaborations, you guys did a song which was a mashup / collab. This transition could have worked a little better, but let's move on to the next segment. Here we go. Everyone, welcome to Music Notes. This is the part of our show where we take a look back at a past performance of your group and talk a little bit about the preparation that went into it, how it felt to perform live, and what it feels like to look back at it now. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the Spartones cover of High Hopes for the Greatest by Brendan Urie and Sia, featuring soloists Patrick DeMars, Hanisha Dewan, and our very own Evalina Maas-Espinoza, which they performed at the ICCA West Quarterfinal 2020 in Claremont, California. Let's check it out. Yes. So good. Excellent. Well, just starting out, why don't you guys share your first responses, your visceral responses? What does it feel like looking back now? What's the first thing going through your head?
Well, I'll talk to you guys maybe a little bit about how I did things, like looked at it more like musically, like what each part like maybe emphasizes. Like
sure. Yeah, hell yeah.
For me, personally, like for me, I would mostly know the beatbox because I'm the beatboxer in this one, in this set. So what I did as the beatboxer, as you can see, what I did for Eva's solo, I wanted to emphasize that this is a big moment was about to happen. So I wanted to find a good sound effect that's gonna show a great lead for Eva's solo. So what you heard was, and then doo doo doo, and as you saw, I raised my hand, or like lifted my hand up to welcome our soloist Eva. So in that way, Eva takes the stage. Then afterwards, as you saw when we went up, when we were standing up after we sat down, she went, and we all just stand up. Next thing you know, I went to emphasize the next big part and the next drum part that I did. So after I kept the beat, which was something like that with like triplets and all that. Then afterwards, Patrick and Hanisha, they come out with their part. But before that, I wanted to emphasize that was a whole new section as well. So I went again, and next thing you know, it led to a whole big section again. And then after that, as we walked towards, I wanted to again lead a new section. So I went to emphasize there was gonna be a new big moment, and where we all cheer, we all act cheerful and all that, and start dancing around. Then finally, when we get to the end, I want to emphasize the end. I went. Then after that, they all had their acapella moment, and they went into this retardando, meaning slowing down. So they went You gotta have high hopes. And then I wanted to finish the song by doing the and then just raise my hand and then cut. So that was me musically being the beatboxer and emphasizing the different points that we wanted to really stick out for sure.
That was awesome. Yeah, thanks for the beatbox breakdown.
The play-by-play, so to speak. Yeah. Your transitions that you were just talking about are definitely better than Tony and I being like, speaking of acapella.
I do a lot of studies, so like I'm just like, okay, what should I do here? Yeah, that's what I do as a beatboxer. Like, I find the sections that are just like crazy important. So I find ways to just like really, make it sound cool and just emphasize it. And just, like I'm always like writing what I want to do there as well. So
that's awesome. I don't think people think about that enough. Like if you don't beatbox or if you've watched acapella groups and haven't even been in one at all, like the beatboxer has to think about where they put every single beat, every single fill, every single like little drum solo-y thing. It's kind of like playing a drum set. Like often in jazz, you'll hear a drum do a fill before you're supposed to come in, or like right before you're supposed to come in. And beatboxers have to do that too, in real time with their mouths. And it's not like they're making it up on the spot usually, but they do have to think about it really hard beforehand. And there's so much thought that we don't really realize that goes into every beatbox performance in acapella.
Yeah, and you can absolutely like feel the difference, I think, in when you have those riser sounds and those impact sounds that are added by the percussion, the vocal percussionist, and by percussion in general. But it really adds that extra layer.
How about you, Eva? What is your just gut reaction to watching the end of that video?
I'm definitely like right before my solo, I could still like feel my heart like pounding through my chest. And that's definitely what I was feeling right before I was singing. Because I think it was a couple days before the actual performance, we took it up. I think we took it up a couple keys.
Oh my gosh.
Started off like lower, and then we took it up like 2 keys or something like that.
Yeah.
Who did this to you?
Our director, Dario Johnson, where are you at?
Lord, well, I mean, you pulled it off and it sounded amazing, but geez.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. I'm surprised that I could do it. I definitely did not sing for a good week after that.
Taking any song that had Brendan Urie in it and then moving it up a key is never something I've seen someone do before.
Yeah.
Willingly.
Yeah. I just love that solo, not just because I was singing it, but like it's such a powerful moment in the song. And like even when I was singing it, I got the chills because like everyone was like super silent except for Brian with his little whooshes and and
that's the technical term.
Whooshes.
Whooshes. Yeah. Can confirm.
And I don't know, just like that whole build up, like it still gives me goosebumps. And I couldn't even hear like the people screaming when I was singing that part because I was just so in the zone and singing it, and I was like, oh, please don't mess up, just do it, just go for it. Yeah.
It's so good.
And it's so fun to be, I don't know, it's just so fun to watch someone like be the climax of their set. Like you coming in and singing that was so obviously just like, this is the moment, and it happened, and it's awesome. And I get that it must have been like so nerve-wracking beforehand, especially since for me, like the hardest part of that stage is just, it's so much bigger than you think it's going to be. And you feel like you're by yourself because you're so spread out from your a cappella group and you can't hear everyone very well. So like, it's that feeling of like being kind of alone on stage. Compounded with what you must have been feeling having a solo coming up, compounded with that solo being the climax of your set, and then you freaking nailed it. Oh, it's so cool. It was awesome. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, there are plenty of reasons for your heart to be going so fast and so hard, but like you absolutely nailed it, and it was a phenomenal performance. It was so fun for us to watch.
Also, like adding to reactions for like performance, like also like I mentioned earlier, we had a lot of bass, so literally hearing that blend from top to bottom, when you have that much bass, like, oh my gosh, it felt so much resonance. I'm just like, whoa, that's so much bass.
Oh yeah, that's sexy.
It was like,
That like second to last chord or something when you guys all like locked in. I was like, yes.
Yes. It was crazy.
So good. Oh man.
All right, well, we have a game for you all to play, but before we can get into that, we would like to thank our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by the Percy Jackson series, tricking the youth of yesterday into learning all about Greek mythology.
And by Grapes, nature's Tide Pods.
The game that we have for you guys, we have deemed Spartones Spark Notes. Jessica, would you like to give us a little bit of the lowdown, the 411, if you will?
I would love to give you the 411. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys a one-sentence, basically summary / gist of a classic literary work. Usually they're ones we've read in high school. If neither of you have read it, we'll deal with that. It's fine. But basically we're going to give you that one-sentence gist, and if you get the name of the book wrong, or if you can't think of the name of the book, then you have to sing a song that we have chosen that kind of sort of thematically goes along with that book in some way. So, Tony, I didn't write the sentences because I wanted us to make them up on the spot to make them more fun.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
It's prov time.
Awesome. Whoever wants to go first, we can figure this out a number of ways. We can do this peacefully. You guys could fight to the death on Zoom, which it hasn't worked yet, but we can always fall back to the good old rock, paper, scissors, which is excellent radio. But however you...
We can fall even farther back to the Hamilton 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10 dual commandments.
So yeah, however you guys wanna figure it out, or if one of you just wanna volunteer, we can get this show on the road.
Okay, I'll go second.
Okay, Brian, it's time. All right, here's a sentence describing the first book that we're going to talk about. So
there's this guy, and he likes this girl, and there's also, this is still one sentence, that was a comma, and there's also a billboard on the side of the road with eyeglasses.
There's a girl and a boy with a billboard and eyeglasses.
Is that too vague? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
No.
Is that really vague? Let me try that one more time. Pretend that never happened. I'm going to say something much more specific. Here we go. So,
there's this guy, and he's always calling people old sport, and he's really rich.
Great Gatsby.
You got it.
Your
Nice.
high school English teacher is so proud.
I realized the first one is really vague, so I was like, I'll go a little more specific.
Yeah, you were literally like, oh, the spectacles on the billboard.
Well, I think of that because it's on the cover of the book, you know?
That's fair. Sure.
I guess every book cover is different depending on where you get your book, so I would try not to just describe the cover next time.
You know, it's blue, but it's got the design on it.
You know how it's orange and blank?
All right. Are we ready? We got this. We're a team. We're going to beat out Brian and Jess. They can't hear us right now. I'm going to wink at you in Morse code to give you the answer as I'm saying it. Okay. This Shakespearean classic of love and death ends with two people lying in a crypt.
Is it Romeo and Juliet?
It is Romeo and Juliet.
Nice.
I didn't even have to wink at you to give you that Morse code.
You guys are good at this. All right. This next one is pretty hard. I'm hoping you've read it, but you might not have. But that's okay, because if you haven't read it, then you have to sing, and that's fun too. So,
yeah.
It's about... Okay, here we go. It's a Russian dude who kills someone, and he's like, oh no, I feel bad.
Oh, man. Oh, Russian dude who kills... Oh.
No, I think I know this one.
Oh, my gosh. Russian dude. I don't know, Brave New World.
No, unfortunately, it is Crime and Punishment.
Crime and Punishment. Oh, man.
His name is Raskolnikov.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember correctly. Anyway, that's not important because the song is Bohemian Rhapsody. You can sing whatever part of it you want, but the part that I was thinking of when I thought of this book was "Mama, I killed a man."
Okay.
Just killed a man. Yes.
I did not. Full disclosure.
Mama, just killed a man. Put a gun against his head. Pull my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life has just begun. Gotta leave you all behind and pull it all the way. I forgot that lyric.
Dude, it sounded so good though.
Jazz.
It's good enough. Excellent job. So far, you each have 1 point. It is time.
And we're about to make it 1-2, but the 2 is us and not you. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, but because it rhymes, it's true. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Good. This book follows a bunch of children on a beach, stranded and trying to get help.
Oh my god. I know this one.
I tried to give the important things while still saying kind of a...
I know what it is. I could see it. They get stranded. Oh my gosh. I can only remember the character's name is Piggy. Oh my goodness.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
That is true.
No.
There is a character whose name is Piggy, but do you know the name?
The Lord of the Flies?
It is the Lord of the Flies. What a pull.
I'm kind of disappointed that you got that one because the song was going to be Fireflies and I was really excited.
All right. Half of this book is a metaphor and half of it isn't. And the metaphor is about a turtle.
A turtle?
In a road.
My good. Please, 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 please. No. I got this. Hold up. Tortoise and the hare.
No, unfortunately, the book is The Grapes of Wrath.
What is that book? I
would have just said Angry Fruit and would have hoped you would have got it.
The Grapes of Wrath. I haven't actually read Grapes of Wrath, but I've been told that it's half like story and half metaphor. And the metaphor is like a turtle on its back in the road or something like that. Anyway, sorry about that. But now you gotta sing, and the song choices are Live While You're Young, Live While We're Young, whatever that song is, and or Young, Wild, and Free.
So while we go out, so while we go sleep, we're just having fun. We don't care who we see. So while we go out, that's just supposed to be living young and wild and free.
If you're wondering why I chose those songs, it's because Grapes of Wrath has the word grapes in it, and grapes has to do with a certain beverage.
Why?
Don't worry, guys. I am legal. It's fine.
We're not.
It's okay. We're all young, wild, and free, according to that song. So there you go. Acapella, just freeing up everything.
Well, let's keep this leading streak going. Let's see how far we can make this gap.
Man. No.
All right.
I say no.
Okay. This book has gotten a Disney movie made after it and can only be described as an acid trip.
There's so many of those.
Oh yeah, I guess that's fair. Kind of like all old. I still believe in you. This one is especially trippy.
What is a book? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's fine. That's fair. We're still in the lead, but I was referring to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which has the show, or not the show, has the Disney movie Alice in Wonderland, which I would describe as very trippy.
Yes, I would agree.
Well, it looks like the song that has been written down here is Wonderwall. Get it? Because Wonderland. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
The only part I know of that song is "You're my Wonderwall."
Good enough for jazz. It's
Good enough for
us.
jazz. All right. Are you ready, Brian, for the final book description?
You could tie it up.
You could tie up the score right here.
Hopefully.
It's time. We can do this. I believe in you. I really hope you've read this book. Here we go. All right. So, a girl thinks her husband has died. But here's the thing, he hasn't, comma. And when she tries to do things with people because she thinks he's dead, people are like, wow, you suck. We hate you.
What? Man, I gotta read more.
That was a really bad description. I feel bad. Wait, can I like make this much simpler?
Sure.
Tony, it won't give away more.
Okay.
A girl is forced to wear something on everything she wears.
The girl's supposed to wear something on. Does this girl have like, I don't know, like costumes to just like?
I don't know how many hints I'm supposed to give. She has to wear a specific symbol on everything she wears.
I wish I read more. Oh man.
I'm gonna give you a huge hint just because I feel like I can. It's the name of the book is what she has to wear.
Oh man. I give up. I'm just gonna sing.
Oh no! Okay, well the book is The Scarlet Letter.
Oh, what? I heard of that title, but dang.
My first description was much more plot accurate, but my second description was basically the title.
Okay.
We tried. We did our best, but the song you gotta sing is A Whole New World. And the reason is because there's one moment in that song where they go, every moment, red letter. And I thought of The Scarlet Letter.
Okay.
Woo! So if you could sing
here.
specifically that part. No, I'm kidding. You can sing whatever part you want.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can... Yeah, there you go.
You can keep going if you want. This is good. I'm just enjoying listening to this.
I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Oh, it's so high at the end.
That's okay. We'll let you off the hook now, but geez, that was awesome.
I'm a bass, y'all, so I can't sing high.
You may have lost this game, but you won the singing so far, just because you've sung more.
Eva, are you ready for your victory lap?
Yeah.
Eva, you could, if you end up having to sing this one, you could potentially win both the singing and the actual game.
Hold on. Let me figure out. I have to check one fact about this book before I say anything.
This book, I love making fun of this book.
I also enjoy making fun of this book. Okay. That shouldn't be any clue, but okay. This book's protagonist is very angsty. And he, as a teenager, is roaming about the streets and run into different people, including a previous classmate, a prostitute, and some other stuff. God, this is a terrible...
I think that was a good description.
That was good? Well,
yeah.
We'll take
Angst being the operative word.
Yeah. Very angsty boy travels Pennsylvania? The location isn't important. Miss Tebow, if you're listening, I'm very sorry. It's my old English teacher.
An angsty boy.
Big ol' angsty boy.
Big ol' angsty boy.
The angstiest.
There's so many angsty boy books that I've read.
Yeah, there a lot. There are a lot. This is like the king of angsty boy books.
My goodness.
Hold on. I can give you. Can I give a one word?
Oh my god, this word's gonna give the whole thing away, but I'll let you do it.
Okay. Phony.
Pony.
Phony. PHONY. EY?
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell.
I
Again,
don't know how to
sorry,
spell
Miss
either.
Tebow, my English teacher.
My god, I'm blanking. I have no idea.
It's fine. Well, you still got the victory. But the book, of course, that we are referring to is Catcher in the Rye.
Oh no, I've never read that.
You haven't? Okay, that's valid.
Phony would have given it away if you had read it, because the kid just walks around the city being like, "Oh, everyone's a phony."
Everybody's
like, the whole
fake.
book. Everybody's such a phony the whole time.
Yeah, that's literally.
Oh man, it's so funny.
Brian, you had a very big reaction to
You were like,
hearing Catcher in the Rye.
I was like, I remember this book. I was like, oh crap.
Well, what
All
is
right.
the song, Tony Voss?
The song is American Pie.
Because they both have the word rye in them.
Okay. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Honestly, that's about how well I know with words too. So
Yeah, you get to Bye Bye Miss American Pie, something, and then eventually you get to This Will Be the Day That I Die.
yeah, like the middle words are insignificant. The reason I did pick this though is because there's the part that's like, boys drinking whiskey and rye and Catcher in the Rye. It's a very vague connection. When I said they were going to be thematically connected, I meant they were going to be very, very thinly connected. But that is the game. Eva, you have won. Brian, you have sung the most, which is an achievement in and of itself.
And me and Jess win for getting to hear all of your lovely voices.
Honestly, that's a big win.
Yes.
Oh,
You guys sound amazing.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
This is fun.
This is fun.
This is fun, right?
This
now.
is fun. All right, Tony Voss. You know what time it is.
I do, Jessica Block. Well, we're coming up towards the end of the podcast here, and so we're just gonna give you the small window to kind of say whatever you want, but not really say whatever you want, mostly to promote yourself. This can be for what your group is up to, what you yourself is up to. If there's people in the group that you want to give a good old, hey, how's it going? Be sure to do that. Tell us what kind of social media you're onto and where people can find more of you. Without further ado, go ahead and promote yourself.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. It's been so fun. Well, you can catch us on Instagram, Facebook. We don't have a Twitter, but I have a Twitter, Evalina_SP. But our group is the Spartones at SJSU. I don't know if you can see that, but I run the page and I try to post weekly about things that we're doing. You can see some of our people singing during quarantine. We did a little segment of just people randomly singing what they're doing day in the life. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
Do you have other things to plug?
I'll give a shout out to first of all our current members of Spartones right now. First of all, Eva, and we have Andrea Bolivar, one of our sopranos, Andrea Bolivar, Stella Rao, and yeah, that's our sopranos. For now, our altos, Eva's an alto, Nilu Bahar, Lily Jang, and Remini Sita Marju. We have our tenors, I forget his last name, Chella something. Patrick Rashid Chug, Patrick Demars, and Andrew Perigo, and our bass is me. And then we have, Andrew Perigo is going to be singing bass lunch, so we have me and him. And shout out to our members who have graduated our last year, which is our director, Dario Johnson, who's a bass. We also have Keith Arbogast as a bass, Brandon Liu as a bass as well, and Noah Rollison. And we have we have some of our sopranos. We had Phoenicia Duan, who graduated, and some members left, but we want to give them a shout out as well because they've worked so hard for us. So shout out to Sahana Venkatesh and Shamavi Basar. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And shout out to Pitch Please for having us here. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for doing a lot for especially my hometown LA, because LA is where I'm from, and great seeing that. It's always great seeing my LA groups perform. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
And
also, shout out to your new members who aren't quite in the group yet, but will be soon.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Same wavelength.
Same wavelength.
Heck yeah.
Also, Jess, I think that's Pitch Please's first shout out.
It is. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God.
Exciting. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. This has been an excellent time. A phenomenal job all around. We would also like to thank our short-term temp, Mem Relas, for helping us out around the studio with all the little things.
Deja vu.
No, Deja Vu actually works in accounting, but thanks to her too for checking out the numbers not once, but twice.
We would also like to thank our resident ceramicist, Clay Potter, for making sure that we here in the studio have bowls, all kinds of bowls.
And of course, our listeners, thank you for tuning in.
Join us again next week when our guest will be Vocalision from NYU.
This has been Tiger on the Block. Remember to treat those vocal cords right.
Try out that riff you've always wanted to try.
And chug a ton of honey. We're done.
There you go.